Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Golem F. Michael Fletcher alongside the guys Anthony Foyle, Michael Bullock. We have ourselves somewhat of a loaded show. Tonight we'll be recapping SmackDown Live that went down last night, and then we will be previewing tomorrow afternoon's AEW All In from Wembley Stadium in London, England. We will be running down the entire fight card, giving our predictions on everything that's going to go down on the show. And programming reminder: tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern, come right back here on Race Fan 95. We will have the recap of All In. Obviously, right after that, we'll give you our future content. There's a lot to go through. No show on Monday night. We got a valid reason why we're not doing it on Monday night. We will give you all the details why we're not doing it on Monday. And trust me, you're really going to love why. So, with that said, here we go. SmackDown Live to jump it off. And it went down last night exclusively on Fox. And let's get into it. So, first off, on the show, we had. Oh, hold on. Sorry, something popped up on my screen that probably wasn't supposed to pop up, but okay. All right. So, what we did start with was the Grayson Waller effect. So Grayson Waller effect came in, started off promo segment, and this was interesting. You had American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, of course, A-Town Down Under were there, and it was fine for what it was worth. It was an okay segment. They brought up they brought up the Randy Orton, Kevin Owens thing, and they kind of try to put the screws to try to say, hey, don't trust Owens, he's gonna betray you. Try to play that narrative there, but Owens came out, had a rebut on that, turned into a little bit of a Donnybrook between Owens, Cody Rhodes, and A-Town Down Under. And if you notice at the end of the segment, it looked like Owens was teeing up to whack Cody with the WWE Championship, but then handed it off to Cody and then started yelling at A-Town Down Under, hey, why don't you come back? You want to fight? Let's fight. And you saw Cody kind of looking at the belt like, was Owens about to blast me? There's been this little bit of, I don't want to say tension between the two. I mean, he appreciates the help, but then Owens kind of has that moment where you're thinking, what are you really up to, Kevin? Are you trying to be loyal to Cody? Are you trying to be friends? Or are you going to stab him in the back and sell out to try to go for the WWE Championship? Hey, Cody was the one who made the move about, hey, you deserve the shot. You deserve the opportunity. I want to give you the shot. If you remember, Owens at first did not want this. Owens was like, no, I'm not, I'm not deserving. I feel like other guys deserve it. I don't want it. This and that. It wasn't until Nick Aldis kind of put the screws on by saying, well, all right, then the next viable option was Roman Reigns. Nope. Owens turned 180 on that, ripped Nick Aldis, saying, how dare you? What the hell you think you're doing? Why is Roman getting another shot when you got all these other people? And Nick Aldis is like, well, the most deserving person is in this room, and it's you. So despite your disagreements, you're getting your shot. You're fighting Cody Rhodes, Bash at Berlin for the WWE Championship. Now, all of a sudden, you've noticed in the last couple of weeks where Owens kind of gives that look like his heart is definitely, he's got his eyes on the WWE Championship. And 2 times already, he had the belt in his hands, and Cody kind of got a little mitt the first time around. This time around, he had to watch his back because he almost got dunked. But the thing is, Owens didn't pull the trigger. I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend. What do you say about all this?
Well, I'll tell you, MF. This was a pretty standard talk show segment. Kevin Owens interjected some needed energy in the last couple of minutes, and WWE. And I gotta tell you what, WWE using footage of Chris Jericho in that Owens video package was an interesting choice, to say the very least. I mean, Chris Jericho's with the other companies, with AEW, as we all know, and he's got a big match at All In tomorrow, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But they showed. I mean, I can't say it enough, MF and Bullock, and I know you guys both agree with me when I say this. That production team, that WWE production team, top notch every single time. I mean, that video package that they did, to show everything that Kevin Owens did, Sami Zayn at NXT Revolution, when he made his WWE debut, when he went after John Cena, and then Chris Jericho with that Festival of Friendship, that Monday Night Raw in February of 2017, and then Sammy in the Thunderdome and Kofi Kingston, so and he apologized for that, by the way. So but like I said, pretty standard talk show segment. And it set up the main event, which was Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. We'll get into that in a little bit. So standard segment, solid segment for what it was. So not much more to say. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in and let's get your thoughts on that openings on this Grayson Waller effect.
Yeah, like you said, it was a typical talking segment here, and a great job by the production team to basically go through everything that Kevin Owens done with his betrayal. And yeah, it was interesting that they actually used Chris Jericho in that video. I mean, he is working for that other company, and I don't know about you guys. I mean, if I know Tony Khan, he's probably somewhere back there like, whoa, wait a minute. You're using a video package with one of my wrestlers in there without my permission? Oh, I'm crying foul on that one. But this is just WWE basically just trying to show what KO has done in the past, because as you saw with this segment, I mean Kevin Owens looked like he was ready to with that championship on Cody Rhodes, but he just handed it back to him and basically was daring A-Town Down Under to come down and fight. But they would fight, but not till later on in the main event. So we'll talk about that later. So nothing more to say. It is yours, Fletch.
And why not start out the night with the United States Heavyweight Championship match? Yes, it was Santos Escobar getting an opportunity at the United States Heavyweight Championship, going up against the reigning, defending United States Heavyweight Champion, the megastar that everybody wants to see, one of the workhorses of Friday Night SmackDown, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Winner of the bout, 8 minutes, 56 seconds, and still the United States Heavyweight Champion, LA Knight. He wins it. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
This match had great energy and some fun moments, but it felt like they left a lot of room to grow in future encounters. I will give this just about 3 stars for this. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is. I mean, no surprise about the outcome. After all, it was LA Knight's first defense of the United States Heavyweight Championship after he won it from Logan Paul at SummerSlam. So, yeah, always customary to have the champion go over in the first defense. So, no surprise about the outcome. So, And next Friday night on SmackDown in Berlin, Germany, we are gonna have LA Knight has already issued an open challenge for his United States Heavyweight Championship. So it'll be very interesting to see who answers that come next Friday night. So solid 3 stars for this. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts as our guy, LA Knight, still the United States Heavyweight Champion. No big surprise after all. It was his first defense. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the other thing that happened. Well, before the match even started, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo pulled LA Knight out and tried to attack him before the match even started, and the referee saw enough and told Humberto and Angel, "You're out of here. You're done. You're going to the back, boys. Take a shower." And it was true one-on-one when the match finally got going. And yeah, LA Knight winning was never in doubt. I mean, it was his first title defense. You're not going to have him lose the title in his first title defense. So yeah, and like you said, next week with that open challenge, it's going to be interesting to see who takes that open challenge. So we'll find out. So it's yours, Fletch. 2.5 to 3 is my rating.
I agree. I'll go 2 3/4 to 3. I thought they did a very good job with the match. I thought it was a solid championship bout. LA Knight did what he needed to do. First title defense, first title win. Upwards and onwards we go with the megastar. But the thing that really caught my eye, and Anthony, you alluded to it, who's gonna be the next guy that's gonna fight LA Knight for the U.S. title in Berlin? I mean, you just opened the Pandora's box with that, because when you issue any open challenge, and in the immortal words of Joey Styles, and he says that you never, ever issue an open challenge in a wrestling promotion, because 9 times out of 10 somebody is going to answer it. LA Knight, you put yourself into the fire on this one, even though I know you feel confident. I know you want to give somebody an opportunity of a lifetime. Yo, good for you. But you might have just opened a Pandora's box, because of the fact you don't even know who your challenger is. I mean, could it be somebody from SmackDown? Yes, I know SmackDown is probably inevitable, and there's plenty of guys on SmackDown who would probably be worthy of the title shot. But remember, this is Bash at Berlin. There's going to be guys from Monday Night Raw there. You don't know, but could they bring somebody from NXT? Or dare I say, somebody from TNA? Anything is possible. Or could it be somebody out of the indies from Germany that could get the shot of a lifetime? Now, I get it. That last one may be a little far-fetched, but you never know with Triple H. You never know, because Hunter he's got this land of opportunity. This is almost feeling like when Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan was running SmackDown, my favorite era of the SmackDown brand. And Anthony, you know that better than anybody else, how I used to harp on SmackDown and what they were calling that land of opportunity. As many of you know, that was right around the time when SmackDown, believe it or not, was better than Monday Night Raw, and even Anthony Floyo conceded it.
But yes, you're right.
I think it was for about a year and a half to 2 years where SmackDown was actually better than Monday Night Raw.
Raw was amateur night. SmackDown was the big time.
Yeah,
and let's not forget another thing, guys. I mean, LA Knight with this open challenge, he wants to prove that he's a fighting champion.
Yeah. Which I appreciate.
Unlike someone, unlike the guy that he just beat for the U.S. title at SummerSlam, Logan Paul.
Okay, now wait. I'm about to say something very controversial, and I know I'm going to get angered from Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, and I know you guys are gonna flip on me on this. The reason why Logan Paul was successful as the United States heavyweight champion was because he brought the social media aspect, and he also elevated the title by the recognition that he brought, good or bad. He actually elevated the United States heavyweight championship. Now, LA Knight is doing it in a different way. He's doing the Seth freaking Rollins route by defending the title continuously, open challenges. He's gonna be a fighting champion, which is great, and that's what you want your champions to do. So that's why I actually felt that, yes, the limited times that Logan Paul defended the title, and they were very limited. I think he only defended the title maybe about 8 to 10 times in that year and a half that he was where he was about the champion for about that amount of time. The length of his reign, he only defended it, I think, like a total of 10 times. LA Knight has already defended the title once. This is his first defense. And he's already saying next week, I'm putting the belt up again. So think about that. He's already on pace to outdo the reign of Logan Paul. But the thing is, what Logan Paul did that elevated the title was because of his name recognition. And you can say, yes, well, he backdoored his way a lot of victories because of the brass knuckles, everything else. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. But in-ring work that Logan Paul did, you cannot say this man was a failure as a U.S. heavyweight champion. Yes, you can say his attitude stinks. Yes, you can say he's a prima donna. Yes, you can say he's annoying. You can say whatever the F you want. In the ring, when he had to deliver, when he had to bring it to the table, he fought like a true champion. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. My thoughts only, and that's it.
Whew. I'm not even going to try to argue that after what you just said there, Fletch. And I know, Florio, you're going to agree with me on that.
I am respectfully going to walk away on that one.
I am too. I am just going to simply walk away.
All right. Well,
need I say more?
Yeah. All right. Well, with that out of the way, next up we had was a 6-woman tag team fight, as it was Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, and they went up against Blair Davenport, Isla Dawn, and Alba Fire, and it was the Face Squad winning the match in 10 minutes and 1 second. Now, one note of observation. I gotta give it up to the girls. And what I mean is, I want to show a lot of love to Bianca, to Jade, and to Naomi. They actually wore U.S. Olympic women's gymnastic inspired outfits, and they absolutely look stunning in it. Michael Bullock, they actually channeled the Suni Lee, the Simone Biles outfit.
Actually, Fletch, I noticed it, and I think those things that they wore were all worn by Simone Biles.
Yeah, and they actually said they were Simone Biles inspired outfits, but these were the same 3 outfits that they wore during the Olympic Games. So these were actually, I think what happened was they probably saw the outfits, freaked out, went to the seamstress or whoever does the wardrobe, and like, hey, do you think that you can do some kind of U.S. Olympic expired type outfit? Like, make it look like those the outfits that they were wearing during the Olympics. And I gotta tell you, WWE wardrobe absolutely nailed it. They looked amazing. Michael Bullock, it's yours. As the face team of Naomi, Jade, and Bianca wins in 10:01.
And by the way, quickly, shout out to France for Paris for putting on a good Summer Olympics. Need I say more?
Well, there was a couple of moments where I was a little iffy about.
Well,
there was something.
I'm saying good.
No. I'll give them credit for the Olympic Games. I think they did a very good job under the circumstances, but there was definitely some controversy and some not so pleasantries about the games coming out of Paris. But it's coming to the United States in 2028. I know we'll deliver. I got a good feeling about LA in 4 years.
I believe that too. So, yeah, I'm going to give this about 3, maybe teetering on 3.25. I mean, the face team, of course, getting the big win here. Of course, obviously they had to give the win back, especially after Blair Davenport upsetted Naomi last weekend. And of course, the big story coming out of this, as you heard before the show, Bash at Berlin. It'll be Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn for the women's tag team title. So they're going to get another opportunity. So we'll see what happens with that. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours. The face team gets the win, but more importantly, Bianca and Jade get another shot at the titles.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and this is a golden opportunity for them. They'll get it at Bash at Berlin. They'll get the opportunities, but I hate to say this, but this might be a road match for Bianca and Jade because Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, these are 2 European beauties, especially, and we know the magnitude of what happened when they won that title in Scotland. At Money in the Bank, and where it was at in England, if I remember correctly. And now here they are, and now they're going to Berlin. This might be a home turf advantage for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I hate to say this, and especially with Blair there. I think it might be 3-on-2, and I hate to say this, but I think the champions are going to remain the champions. Just my personal thought. 3.25 stars, solid match. Anthony Foyo, is yours.
Yeah, the first thing is first. Bullock is right. Naomi, Cargill, and Belair's gear was a reference to Simone Biles. So that is confirmed and correct. 3 to 3.25 stars. One of the downsides of a match like this is that it can be difficult for everyone to get enough time in the ring. With Bianca Belair being isolated for so long and Naomi getting in all of the offense at the end, it felt like Jade Cargill was lost in the shuffle. And let me just say this about Blair Davenport. Davenport has so much untapped potential. She is already very good for only being 28 years old. So sky's the limit for that one, hopefully, down the line. But for right now, this is a 3 to 3.25 star match, and somewhat of a predictable outcome. I had a feeling that the face team was going to win it, and now Belair and Cargill are on to Germany to try to regain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That I don't think they technically lost, or did they? I don't think either Belair or Cargill was pinned in that match.
No, they weren't. They were not. They were not pinned. They were not pinned. They lost the titles, but they did not factor in the decision. Yes.
So they're finally getting a rematch, and rightfully so. And I would not at all be surprised if Belair and Cargill regain the titles here. I wouldn't. But you never know. You never know.
I kind of have to disagree here. I don't think it's gonna happen. Just my thoughts alone. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like Alba Fire and Island Dawn is going to keep those belts a little while longer, and because I think they might be setting up that rumored rivalry between Cargill and Bianca. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So I think this if they really wanted to do it, this would be the perfect moment. Pull the trigger on a fight.
Definitely. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So but we got until Friday night to think about that. So because that's when we're going to do our preview of that. So 3.25, like I said. So not much more to say except MF. Let's move on to our second championship bout.
Well, before we get into that championship bout,
there is something else. Right.
There was something else. The Bloodline came out, and basically Solo Sikoa came out and basically told Jacob Fatu to surrender the WWE Tag Team Championship to Tonga Loa. Now, I've already gone on one rant tonight. I don't want to go on another one, but there was something that really pissed me off that the fans were telling Tonga Loa, you can't wrestle. And thank God it's Saturday, because if the show would have been Friday night, put the women and children to bed, I would have put this as an R rating and I would have gone off on the WWE universe because of how flipping dare you disrespect Tonga Loa, because you do not have any idea who the bleep you're talking about. And I almost wanted it to rip, but I'm not. The Guerrillas of Destiny, now officially the WWE Tag Team Champions, they put the titles on the line against the Street Profits. When it was all said and done, winners of the bout, 9 minutes and 13 seconds, still the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Guerrillas of Destiny, the Bloodline, they win it. Solid match. Another 2 3/4 to 3 stars. It was what we expected. Obviously, Bloodline was going to get involved, namely Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. But at the end of the day, the outcome was never in doubt. So for me, it was what we expected the outcome to be. Anthony, it is all yours. The champions remain the champions.
Yeah, solid 3 stars. This bout had some good spots, but never felt like a very competitive fight. DIY came out to assist the Street Profits, but they ended up receiving a beating. And yeah, so I don't know what else there is really to say here. I mean, predictable outcome. I mean, you knew the Bloodline was going to win this match, just like with LA Knight earlier. First title defense, so that's really all there is to say there. And perhaps they could be setting up because there's a rumor going around about a possible showdown down the road between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. Can you imagine what that'll be like if they pull the trigger on that? So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. But this was a solid 3 for the effort. Predictable outcome, like I said, and it looks like DIY could possibly be the next challengers. They technically have a rematch clause, so we'll see what happens. Solid 3 for me. So Bullock, to the surprise of none of us, Bloodline hold on to the titles, and we said it after they won the titles a few weeks ago. They're going to hold those things as long as they want to.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So, yeah, 3 stars for me as well. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt, but yeah, I mean, going back to what Fletch said, I mean, I did hear the you can't wrestle and to Tonga Loa. Yeah, that was somewhat pretty disrespectful.
That was out of bounds, and
yeah, that was totally out of bounds on the fans there.
MF knows Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga a lot better than we do, Bullet, so he could vouch for him.
Yeah, he could vouch for us on this.
That's why I'm choosing my words very carefully, because right now I want to rant and I want to explode, but like I said, I've already given one rant already tonight, so I'm not, like, I'm being very, very, very careful, because I want to go off, like, and I'm talking 97 Bret Hart level anger that I have right now because of what happened last night.
Yeah, that was just flat out disrespectful. I mean, like you said, Fletch knows Tongaloa more than me and Florio, and from what we've heard from him, this guy can wrestle. So yeah, I'm not gonna go any further, because I feel like if I talk about any further, Fletch will indeed go off. So I'm with Fletch. I'm gonna choose my words wisely, and or better than that, I'm just gonna put it to rest right now. So, but the other thing is Jacob Fatu was ordered by Solo Sikoa to surrender the title before the match even started. Now, he said, "You're more of an enforcer for the bloodline." I don't know, Fletch. I mean, if I were Jacob Fatu right now, I'd be like, wait a minute. Didn't he win the titles um with Tama Tonga?
Yes, but the thing is that I get it, because maybe the original plan was to have the Gorillas of Destiny as the tag team champions, and plus on top of that, Jacob Fatu is still nursing an injury. Remember, he got hurt at SummerSlam with his foot, so he's probably still not at 100% with that injury.
Even though this guy can't feel any pain.
Well, I mean, granted, yes, I am not going to disagree.
As we saw last week.
Yeah. Oh, I like I said, I call him a certifiable maniac, and I still believe he is. But at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes this does happen, and nothing more to say. So yeah, I mean, uh, main event of the evening is was a one-on-one match, or actually the tag team fight. This was Kevin Owens and
quickly, Fletch. I forgot to get my rating on the tag title match.
Go ahead.
It was about three and a quarter on this one. So now you can move on.
All right. I thought you actually did it, so I apologize. All right. So with that said, the main event: Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes versus A-Town Down Under. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens winning the match in 11 minutes and 29 seconds. Anthony Florio, I believe this goes to you.
Fight of the night here. 3 and a quarter, 3.5. After the commercial break, it became a much more competitive fight. All four men had some standout moments, but the main story being told was whether Kevin Owens would turn on Cody Rhodes. And unsurprisingly, the prize fighter and the American Nightmare got the win when KO hit the pop-up powerbomb. And that's really it. I mean, there was a small part of me that was thinking, they might be turning him, but nope. And you saw it at the end. He had the belt in his hand. It looked like he was gonna waffle Cody Rhodes' head off his shoulders with it, but nope, he just aggressively gave the belt back to him. So, they're doing a great job of planting those seeds. So, we got one more show to go before we get to, well, it'll be in Berlin, but one more show before the pay-per-view itself. So we shall see what happens if they decide to pursue this on Friday night. So we'll see what happens. So by default, the fight of the night, even though it wasn't really, a blow-away match or anything, but I'll give it in excess of 3 and a quarter, teetering on 3.5. So another predictable outcome, and it's really all there is to say here. So Bullock, it looked like that KO was gonna waffle Cody with the belt, but he just aggressively gave the belt back to him. That was a close one. I thought for a moment that he was gonna do it.
Yeah, but the thing is, for you, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen; it's a matter of when it's going to happen. And I don't know about you, but I get this funny feeling it's going to be when it's SmackDown in Berlin. But if not that, then I would say maybe sometime after his title match with Cody Rhodes at Bash in Berlin. So either way, it's going to happen. But yeah, 3.25, 3.5 for the main event here. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. It's your Pledge.
Yeah, no, nothing more for me to say. Yeah, this was a solid 3.25, 3.5. I think you did. I think you're absolutely right with the way that this went. There's really nothing more to add. So yeah, Michael Bullock, you lead off on the overall review.
I thought it was a good show. I mean, it definitely could have been better in some areas, but all in all, it really wasn't all that. I mean, really wasn't all that bad. I'll give it about maybe an SS of 7 to 7.5. So it's your Pledge.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job with it. So yeah, I thought it was a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I thought they could have done better in certain areas, but no, 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Anthony, what says you?
7.5 for me. Last night's SmackDown ended up being about as run of the mill as it gets, but there were some moments worth seeing. LA Knight and Santos Escobar had a fun U.S. title bout, and the main event had some solid action, but nothing from the show stuck out as must-see TV. On the plus side, WWE continued to build up for Bash in Berlin with several segments and video packages, including one from Mia Yim that made her look better than she ever has on the main roster. And she's going to be challenging Nia Jax this Friday night on SmackDown in a street fight for the WWE Women's Championship. So Nia's first defense. We'll see what happens with that. It's a toss-up for fight of the night between Escobar and Knight and the main event tag bout. But if you only watch one thing, KO and Cody versus A-Town Down Under is your best bet. So 7.5 MF. Tomorrow afternoon, AEW presents I guess we could call this their version of WrestleMania. Tomorrow afternoon from the Cathedral of Soccer, Wembley Stadium, second annual All In, with a main event that Michael Bullock and I are going to be more invested in than anything else, with all due respect to the rest of the card.
Yes, indeed. So with that said, I mean, we have ourselves 11 matches altogether on this. A couple of matches are pre-show fights, so we're just going to get it out of the way. We're just going to tell you what they are. Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale are going to be going up against Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway with the stipulation that the winning team will choose the stipulation between Nightingale and Statlander at All Out. So that is the one match. Then we have a four-way London ladder match for the AEW Trios Championship. The Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Kill Switch. They're going up against the Bang Bang Gang. That is Juice Robinson, Colton Gunn, and Austin Gunn. The House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Matthews, and the Blackpool Combat Club with Pac, and Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. So
that's not on the main. That's a that's on the main card. That's not on the pre-show.
That's actually the first fight of the night. All right. So
the other pre-show match is a 10-man tag team match.
Yep. I see.
Do you have that lineup?
Yep. It's the Von Erichs, Shibata, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes, and they're going up against the Undisputed Kingdom. The Brian Cage, Bishop Kong, Taga Lana, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. All right. So the trios tag team fight, I'm gonna say Patriarchy. I'm sorry, I just do. They just gave them the belts. I don't know why. I just feel like they're gonna win it, and I really don't think there's any other way for that to go down. For me, winners still the AEW Trios Tag Champions. I'm gonna say it's the Patriarchy. Anthony, it's yours.
Christian Cage's Trios title reign has been far less intriguing than his TNT title run, but he is still an important resource for AEW. He's among the most reliable heels in AEW and can make feuds matter. The House of Black, one of the best units in professional wrestling, but AEW has repeatedly failed to capitalize on their talent and mystique. The Bang Bang Gang were solid champs, but I don't anticipate they'll reclaim their titles so soon. Then there's the mismatched collective of Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club, which seems like a convenient way to get Pac in front of his home nation crowd. I agree, MF. I'll take the defending champs unless AEW insists on giving the fans a big pop for Pac. But I agree, winners and still the AEW Trios champions, the Patriarchy. Michael Bolick, are we going to make it unanimous, or do you have somebody else?
Yeah, I'm going to, and I say this, Florio, reluctantly go with the Patriarchy because you know where I stand with Christian Cage right now, and
I know you do not like him at all.
Yeah,
Yep.
one of the most despicable people I can't stand right now, and
not the only one.
And the other thing that irked me was that he gave the one of the Trios titles to Nick Wayne's mom instead of Lucha or Killswitch, which I really don't understand that. So, so there's really nothing more for me to say. So I'm going to reluctantly say the Patriarchy. So on to the next match.
I wonder if that's going to come back to bite Christian Cage sometime down the line. I wonder if that's,
or if it'll make Killswitch finally wake up and like he's being used.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. All right. So next up, we had on this big fight card. This one is all right. It is the Young Bucks versus FTR and the Acclaim, triple threat for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
The Acclaimed is ice cold as an act, and FTR hasn't been an important television presence for some time. Your mileage may vary on the Young Bucks, but they are two of the more character-driven personalities in a promotion that overlies on in-ring action. The Young Bucks have repeatedly leaned on the real-life physical altercation between CM Punk and Jack Perry at last year's All In to justify their loss to FTR. The natural course is to have the Young Bucks redeem themselves in an ego-boosting title defense. Also, when you expect a decent amount of titles to change hands on a show, you have to pick a few to stay in the same hands. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Winners and still the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the EVPs, the Young Bucks, to retain the tag team titles. But I don't know about you guys, but I smell some EVP chicanery here with this. So,
oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so, and you know how I feel about that too. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. The EVPs win, but it's going to be with their abuse of power. It's yours, Fletch.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be abuse of power. I really believe it's going to be one of those type of things, no doubt about it. And it's going to be very interesting to see. So yeah, I really got nothing more to say. I think you basically planted everything that you guys needed to say. So well done. We do indeed move on. Next up is the Casino Gauntlet match, where the winner gets a future AEW World Title match. The participants in the match right now, as it listed. Now we don't know if this is the confirmed list or if there's going to be more surprises. But as of now, we got Orange Cassidy that's going to start the match, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Hangman Page, Evil Uno, Roderick Strong, Dustin Rhodes, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. That's the list as of now. Obviously, card is subject to change. We could always have somebody added to that match. We don't know who. But Michael Bullock, just off the names that I've listed, who do you think would be the favorite to win that match?
Man, okay. I mean, like I said, this is a tough one for me to call, but you know what? After what we saw, like this past Wednesday night here, I'm gonna go with Adam Hangman Page to win this to win this gauntlet, and because I think we all know why he should win this, because it's his obsession with Swerve Strickland, and he's hoping that Swerve Strickland will still be the champion, so he can finally get his mitts on him for, well, in his mind, with everything that Swerve's done to him. So I'm gonna go with Adam Hangman Page to win. So it's yours, Fletch.
Hangman, I agree. I think it's going to be him. I think he's going to win it. And yeah, I don't think there's really anything more to add there. So, Anthony, it's yours.
I'm going to make it unanimous. I think Hangman Adam Page is going to win this Gauntlet Battle Royale. And we'll see when he gets his title shot. Because remember, Darby Allin, he's got an AEW title shot of his own coming up next month as part of AEW Dynamite Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And I'm going to have a little bit more on that when we get to his match coming up. So, and that's going to lean into my argument as to who I have winning that particular match. So stay tuned for that. But for right now, it's going to be Hangman Adam Page. I do agree with that. So maybe we'll see some surprise. Usually this is where we would get a possible surprise in this match. And who knows? Maybe a certain guy who left WWE is on his way to AEW, and we might get him here. You never know. We'll have to wait and find out. So
there are rumors that he has officially signed. So I mean, could this be the first night of his run in AEW?
I believe it will be.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see. So Hangman Adam Page wins, and let's move on to our next match.
All right. With that said, we do, like Anthony said, we do indeed move on. And it is the last chance match for the FTW Championship. It will be Hook going one-on-one with the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. Now, here's the thing. If Hook loses this match, he will never get to challenge for the FTW title as long as Jericho is the reigning champion. I kind of feel like this is the moment Hook gets the belt back. This is the last chance. Everything else, the fans are really crapping on Jericho now. Like, they're really crapping him, yelling for him to retire. They're writing it on the wall. So if Jericho some way, somehow walks away with this championship, it's going to be such a bad look for AEW. I think it's time to cut bait, man. I say winner of the bout and new FTW champion, Hook. Anthony, it's yours.
Agreed. With the stipulation that Hook can never challenge Chris Jericho for the FTW title again should he lose, it seems obvious Hook gets the win here. The FTW title is a part of Hook's legacy, both because it was created for his father Taz back in ECW as a symbolic title, and because Hook has consistently been around the belt during its time in AEW. Jericho's only valuable role at this point in his career is to get young talent over, and that will be what he does tomorrow. So I agree with you, MF. Winner, and once again, the FTW champion, it's going to be Hook. Michael Bullock, are we going to make that unanimous?
I'm making it unanimous. I'm going with Hook to regain the FTW championship. And because, yeah, I mean, the crowd is basically crapping on Chris Jericho. They want him to retire, and if he somehow retains the title, like Fletch said, it's going to be a bad look for AEW. People are going to be like, okay, you're saying you're trying to push young talent, yet you're having this guy who's really at the point of go away, and especially a lot of people are hating on Chris Jericho, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Next up, well, This is one of the marquee matches of the evening. Jack Perry putting the TNT title on the line against Darby Allin in a casket match. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
All right. Winner and still the AEW TNT champion, it's going to be Jack Perry. Because he could, not only could he use a lengthy title reign, but remember what I said earlier. Darby Allin, next month, Grand Slam, Arthur Ashe Stadium. He will challenge either Swerve Strickland or Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And I don't know if you guys have been hearing the rumors, but I've been hearing some rumors as well lately. And there are rumors going around that AEW is strongly considering giving Darby Allin an AEW World Heavyweight Championship run. And who knows? It could come as early as Dynamite Grand Slam. It could. We'll have to wait and see on that. But the rumor I'm hearing right now is that AEW is leaning very heavily towards giving Darby Allin a run with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And if they do that, I think I speak on behalf of all of us. And when I say, I think we would all be in favor of that, because the way this young man has busted his ass, you know, I've gone on the record and I have called him this generation's Jeff Hardy. Hell, he's even more insane than Jeff Hardy ever was. I mean, you thought Jeff was insane with some of the bumps he did all those years, especially in those TLC matches? Oh, child's play compared to what Darby's done. So I can definitely see Darby getting a title run. No doubt about it. And it could come at Grand Slam. It's very, very possible. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, and it's because of that the winner of this match and still the AEW TNT champion in this coffin casket match, whatever you want to call it, it's going to have to be Jack Perry, whether a certain someone on this panel likes it or not, and he knows who he is. Matter of fact, I'm going to give it to him right now. So winner and still champion Jack Perry. Michael Bullock, we already know how much you hate Christian Cage, but but of course Jack Perry, you hate him just as much, if not more.
Oh yeah. I've already gone on record with that. How much I hate this you know what Jack Perry with all the things he's done. I mean, yeah, I've no need for me to rehash that, but I'm gonna reluctantly go with him to retain the TNT championship. So, and like you said, because Darby Allin he's gonna get a shot at the AEW World Title at that Dynamite Grand Slam. So it wouldn't make any sense for him to win back the TNT title or win the TNT title when he does have a future world title shot. So reluctantly, I'm going to go with Jack Perry to retain the TNT title. It's yours, Fletch.
All right. So with that said, all right. So we will. Yeah, I'm gonna agree, guys. I'm gonna go with Jack Perry as well. Nothing more to say on that. Next up for the AEW American Championship, MJF Maxwell Jacob Friedman goes one-on-one with Will Ospreay. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
And the question I've said, especially since the match was made, can the sequel top the prequel? It could, but we'll have to wait and see. But I gotta go with Will Ospreay to win back as far as I'm concerned, the international championship. Yeah, not that American championship that I don't like. Fletch certainly is going on the record as saying he doesn't like, and Florio, I know you don't like that belt either. But I think when Will Ospreay retains or regains his title, he's going to rename it the International Championship. So Will Ospreay wins. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, I think, okay, obviously people want to see Will Ospreay win so bad. This has the makeup of Will Ospreay winning, but I think what's going to happen, and I hate to say this, we might have a riot at Wembley because I think Will Ospreay is about to get screwed over. And I think it's going to be Don Callis. I think it's going to be Kyle Fletcher. And I think they're going to turn on Will Ospreay at Wembley, allowing MJF to remain the American champion. This is going to be the FU that AEW gives to the fans of London by taking one of their own and burying him at the Cathedral of Soccer. I think MJF wins, and I think he does not win it honorably or rightfully. I think he's going to cheat. I think Callis is going to get involved. I think Kyle Fletcher is going to get involved. And I think they're going to screw over Will Ospreay. You're going to see some nuclear heat and a damn near riot at Wembley tomorrow afternoon. Anthony, it's yours.
So I'm put in the proverbial position of answering the question, who do I agree with? Our age-old question. Do I agree with Girl MF Michael Fletcher and that MJF retains the title? Or do I agree with the Phenom Michael Bullock and say that Will Ospreay wins the title? Sorry, MF. I'm going with Bullock on this one. Will Ospreay winning in his home country would be a nice moment, and it's one that should happen. MJF has a fine fallback plan with Adam Cole returning from injury soon. A title is not needed for MJF and Adam Cole to resume a feud that was cut short when Adam Cole suffered his injury. Will Ospreay was a huge signing for AEW, and he set up perfectly to get a run with that international title. So, with all due respect, MF, I disagree with you. I'm going to go with the Phenom Michael Bullock on this one, and I will say that Will Ospreay also regains that AEW International Championship. But would I be surprised if MJF retains? No, I wouldn't. But I got to go with Bullock on this one. So, winner, and once again, the AEW International Champion, Will Ospreay. So, with that being said, MF, let's set us up for the next match, if you would.
3 matches left on this fight card. First off, TBS title on the line, Mercedes Moné versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. All right, this one's going to be interesting because obviously the way we were thinking was maybe Britt gets the belt here, but you got Camille. And yes, we know that Mercedes had creative control on some storylines. Could Mercedes put herself over Dr. Britt Baker? I don't think the fans want to see that. I don't think the fans wants to see Mercedes still the champion. It's tough. It's absolutely tough. You don't know how this plays out. I think personally, Britt has not had a title in almost, I want to say, 2 years now. Maybe even longer. I think it's like almost 2.5. I think it's time she gets the belt. I think it's time that she gets crowned. To me, winner and new TBS champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Anthony, it's yours.
So you're going with Britt to win the title here?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, man. I don't see it. Mercedes Moné is not losing her title here. Britt Baker is a name in AEW, but Moné is the marquee signing for AEW and needs to continue to find her groove and thrive the way she is capable of. Losing the belt would do a lot of harm to that journey, and there is not much more reasoning needed to think Mercedes Moné wins here. So once again, I respectfully disagree with Good Old MF Michael Fletcher on this one. For me, the winner and still the AEW TBS champion, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, and I would not at all be surprised if my girl, the Brick House, Camille, ends up being the main reason why. So she will definitely have her say in this match, no question about it. So Mercedes, the CEO, retains. So now, Michael Bullock, you're now in the proverbial position now. Who do you agree with? Do you agree with me and
great.
Mercedes retaining? Or do you agree with MF and new champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD?
Whew, wow. I can't believe I got to be the one that makes the final choice here. But, sorry, Florio. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you, and I'm going with Fletch on this one. I think Dr. Britt Baker wins and becomes the new TBS champion because, like you said, and like Fletch said, she hasn't had a title in 2 years, and she's never held the TBS championship. After everything she's gone through, especially health-wise, I think she's due for a title. So, but would I be surprised to see Mercedes Moné win it? No, but after everything Britt Baker has gone through, especially in real life with her health, I think she's due for a title for the first time in a long time. So winner and new TBS champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
One other side note, and the reason why I think I want Britt to win it, Anthony, you alluded to something about Mercedes Moné being the biggest, being the biggest move that AEW has done. But what have they really done with Mercedes Moné that has made her relevant in AEW? I'm sorry, absolutely nothing. She has not even been that needle push that AEW has been looking for. As a matter of fact, her promos are flat, hasn't done any good ones, and even some of the in-ring talent, don't get me wrong, has been good, but nobody really gives two craps about Mercedes Moné.
And the fans have pissed on her.
Yeah. So,
and I think keeping the title on her would do harm.
I agree with that. Yes.
Because all it would do, it would just make, like we said with Chris Jericho, if he retained the FTW title, that would be bad for them. It would be even worse if they kept the title on Mercedes Moné, because like you said, her promos have been flat. The crowd really hasn't been on her side. And let me remind you of something, Florio, that something she said that really irked you. Need I say more?
Oh, you went there.
You're right.
Oh boy.
You're right.
Oh boy, you went there.
Yep.
I agree. I agree.
That.
I agree with your sentiments, and I understand where you're coming from.
I deserve that.
But I also feel like, look, if Mercedes wins, all right, fine. But then who's next? That would be the big question, is who's next? I think if you're gonna make Mercedes, I would like to see Mercedes chase after Britt Baker. You can use the rematch, or hell, even let Camille get the opportunity at that title. You could definitely have Camille go after it. And the thing is, Camille hasn't had an opportunity yet to go after that championship. She's just as worthy, even maybe more worthy than Mercedes right now. Because you're talking about one of the greatest women's champions in NWA history, and yet she hasn't done. She's only been in AEW for a couple weeks, and she's made a bigger impact than Mercedes has ever done in her run combined, Anthony. So I'm sorry, that's how I felt. you're entitled to your opinion, and I appreciate that you want to go with Mercedes to win. But yeah, there's a
and that's the thing.
There's your devil's advocate, and Michael Bullock even alluded to it as well.
And that's the thing. Camille has done. She's done more than what even Mercedes Moné has done. And
all right,
that's the thing.
we'll leave it at that. If Mercedes wins, boy, are we in for it, Bullock. Oh, are we in for it if Mercedes wins?
Probably me more because of what I just said.
Yeah, you're in the line of fire now. I would not be surprised if Floyo goes 97 on you.
I'm not going 97 Bret Hart. Let's just say I'm just going to go full on Jesse mode on this one.
Oh boy,
there's going to be some ha-has coming your way.
So I'm hoping and praying that
now you gotta hope Dr. Britt Baker wins
because I'm gonna have to probably eat. I'm gonna have to probably
eating some humble pie.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna have to eat the biggest slice of humble pie I've ever had.
You're gonna have to eat the whole damn pie on that one. That's all I'm saying.
And it ain't gonna be a Greg's pie either.
Oh
boy. I think I just opened up Pandora's box on that one with Anthony.
Well, hey, I admire your guts and your
testicular
fortitude, but hey.
But you know what? That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Amen. All right. Speaking of a big fight, you thought the Dr. Britt Baker Mercedes Moné fight was good? Why don't we talk about Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's World Championship? Anthony Florio, you actually lead off on this one. Bullock, you got the main event, so stand by.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we're in agreement on this one. We'll see. Toni Storm versus Mariah May is the best storyline AEW has produced in some time. Toni Storm's reign as champion is substantial, and it's never been more important than it is now. It probably won't get any better, so I think it's time to pull the trigger. Title changes haven't felt quite as important as they used to in AEW. The promotion has a chance to cement a new star in Mariah May and do it in front of, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 of Mariah's countrymen and women. So for me, the winner and new AEW Women's World Champion, Mariah May. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, all yours.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to say the winner and new AEW Women's World Champion, the Glamour Mariah May. I mean, yeah, this has really gotten personal, and it's even it got so personal, and even to the point that they actually went at it at some event today in London.
Mm-hmm.
So if that doesn't show you how personal this has gotten, I don't know what will. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Pledge.
Two factors why I believe we're going to get a new champion. One, yes, Mariah needs the moment. It's time for her to become a champion. It's time for her to stand on her own. It's time for her to become the big star that I think a lot of people were hoping and praying that she became. But two, and most important, I think Jamie Hayter is coming back. And if she comes back, Mariah May, welcome to your first challenger as your newest challenger for the AEW Women's World title. I believe that's probably the road we're going. So not only do I think Mariah May wins the title, I'm also going to call a shocker, and I think Jamie Hayter shows up and basically declares her intention for the AEW Women's World title. All right. Main event for the AEW World title. Swerve Strickland puts the title on the line against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and it is title versus career. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
I'm going to say it right now, Fletch. This is probably the most difficult decision I've ever had to make when it comes to this AEW World Title, because look what's on the line. It's the career of Bryan Danielson, and we get it. I mean, he's a proud father, and he wants to be there for them more, especially for all those special occasions. But you also have to think about the goals that he set since coming to AEW, and one of them is becoming the women's world champion. I mean, the AEW world champion. But man, I mean, this is one of the most hype AEW world title matches I've ever seen. And wow, this is tough for me to call. I mean, the thing is for Bryan Danielson, it's like, what more does he have to prove? He's had one heck of a career, not only in AEW, but going back to his career in WWE when he was Daniel Bryan, and was it Ring of Honor that he was part of too? Florio, help me out.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson was a big part of AEW. MF could tell you that. I mean,
And
MF
Ring
was
of
a big
Honor.
part of Ring of Honor. And
Yes.
MF could tell you stories upon that. He knows more about that than we do.
So yeah, it's like, what more do you have left to prove? But I don't think this is the way he wants to go out in retirement. I think this is where, as tough as for me is to call, but I'll say it right now. I'm going to reluctantly say the winner and new AEW World Champion, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. I mean, look, give him at least a little bit of a run with the championship, and I think this. And let's not forget one thing, and we talked about it earlier. Darby Allin is going to be challenging for the title at Dynamite Grand Slam. You get him and Bryan Danielson, I think this is where Darby gets his moment. So I'm going to reluctantly say Bryan Danielson wins the AEW World Title, but if Swerve Strickland wins, I would not at all be surprised. Because the thing is, Swerve has been gold since winning the world title. A man who rightfully deserved that title. So, nothing more to say, Fletch. I mean, I don't know about you, but this is a tough call.
It's a tough call if you kind of step back from it, but it's actually not as tough as it looks. Yes, it's tough in a sense that at the end of it, the road is hard, but it shouldn't be hard at all, at least in my eyes. So to me, yes, I do believe we are going to have a new champion. I do believe Bryan Danielson will realize his dream. And I do believe when it's all said and done, we have ourselves a true winner. I think Bryan Danielson will make history, and I do believe he becomes the new AEW World Champion. So I got the American Dragon winning it all. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Swerve Strickland has developed amazingly as a character, mixing a blend of cockiness and insecurity with a genuine mean streak. Still, Bryan Danielson should be the winner here. There's chatter about him working without a contract, which understandably gives some fans pause in thinking he would get the win. Danielson's career is on the line, and it doesn't make sense to have him lose when he obviously has more to do during the winding down of his time as a full-time wrestler. Also, let me beg this question, gentlemen. Has any wrestler ever deserved to win a world title in Wembley Stadium more than Bryan Danielson? I think not.
So, I agree with you, Florio.
Yeah. And with all due respect to all the other matches on the card. You got a lot of other bangers on this card. But this is the match, MF. This is the match that myself and Michael Bullock are going to be the most invested in. Am I right, Bullock?
You're damn right we are.
And you and I, Bullock, have not been this emotionally invested in Bryan Danielson since WrestleMania 30. You remember how emotionally invested we were in Bryan Danielson during the whole Yeselmania, yes movement, you know, his
and it'll have that feeling come tomorrow afternoon.
Oh yeah. So
because you're gonna have, when he wins that title, there's gonna be over 80,000 fans chanting yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
yes. And who knows, Bullock and I may even do the yes chants like we did on that WrestleMania 30 recap show that night. You never know. But all in all seriousness here, I mean, like I said, I have all the respect in the world for Swerve. Swerve's had a great run with the title, but Bryan Danielson deserves one title run. Even it doesn't have to be a Roman Reigns style title reign. Absolutely not. As long as he gets, a decent run and a good run with it, you'll get no complaints from us. So I will most assuredly make this unanimous, without a doubt. Winner and new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. There isn't anything else left to say except take us home, MF, and hit us with that future content.
All right, so here we go. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. or no, 10:30 will be the recap of the AEW All In from Wembley. Monday, we do not have a show. Anthony Florio, myself, Michael Bullock, we're heading to Monday Night Raw. It will be at the Amica Mutual Pavilion in Providence, Rhode Island. So the show will be bumped to Tuesday night. After NXT goes off the air, we go on the air. A special edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio on the Tone 25. Wednesday, 10 p.m. Again, after AEW Dynamite goes off the air, we'll be on the air, and we will be doing Surreal Smack Talk. Thursday is the jump off of...
You mean Wednesday Night Madness, right?
Yeah, Wednesday Night Madness.
You said Cerebral Smack Talk.
Oh, well.
You're excited. I don't blame you.
Yeah. So, anyway, Wednesday Night Madness. Thursday is the college football preview. Well, actually, college football week 1.
The season premiere of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday.
Yep, we are back. Oh, yeah. So we got that. All the top 25 action. We'll get into that without a doubt. Then Friday, I believe it's not NFL yet. So this is where we would go. We would stay with the Cerebral Smack Talk on Friday. That'll be at 10:30. So, yeah, and that's the layout for the week, guys, as of right now. So nothing more to say. And, yeah, for Anthony Floyd, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Bye-bye.